The story of Jesus' final days is one of history's most powerful and enduring narratives, echoing through centuries and across cultures. It is a tale woven with deep friendship, profound teaching, and the ultimate act of sacrifice. These final moments are not just a record of events, but a tapestry of emotions, hope, fear, loyalty, and betrayal. Each thread contributing to a story that has shaped the beliefs and imaginations of millions. At the very center of this story stands Judas Iscariot, a man who was once a trusted disciple, a companion who walked alongside Jesus, listened to his teachings, and shared in his mission. Yet, despite this closeness, Judas is forever remembered as the betrayer, the one whose actions set in motion a chain of events that would change the world. This brings us to a profound and unsettling question, one that has puzzled theologians, scholars, and believers for generations. Did Jesus command Judas to betray him, making Judas an instrument of a divine plan? Or was it Judas's own choice, a tragic decision born of free will and human weakness? To even begin to answer this, we must return to the Last Supper, a moment heavy with meaning, where Jesus and Judas shared a secret exchange. In that upper room, surrounded by friends and the weight of destiny, something passed between them that has been debated for centuries. If Jesus orchestrated his own betrayal, it forces us to reconsider everything we think we know about both men. Was Judas truly a villain, acting out of greed or malice? Or was he a tragic figure, compelled by forces beyond his control, playing a necessary role in a divine plan that demanded sacrifice? This is not just a historical puzzle to be solved, but a deep theological mystery that challenges our understanding of fate, free will, and the very nature of good and evil. It asks us to reflect on the complexity of human choices and the possibility of destiny. So let's look closely at the evidence, explore the ancient texts, and seek a deeper understanding of this enduring mystery at the heart of the story. A question that continues to resonate, inviting us to search for meaning in the shadows of history. The Last Supper began as a Passover meal, a sacred tradition that had been observed by generations of Jewish families. The table was set with care, the candles flickered, and the air was filled with the aroma of bread and wine. The disciples gathered around Jesus, unaware that this night would be unlike any other they had experienced. But Jesus transformed this familiar ritual into something entirely new, something that would echo through history. He took the bread, blessed it, and broke it, offering it to his friends as a symbol of his own body, soon to be given for them. He poured the wine and shared it, explaining that it represented his blood, poured out for the forgiveness of sins. In that moment, Jesus established a new covenant, a promise of hope and redemption for all who would follow him. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. Jesus announced, "One of you will betray me," his words cutting through the warmth of the gathering and shattering the trust in the room. The disciples were stunned, their hearts pounding with confusion and fear. Each disciple, searching his own heart, asked, "Surely not me, Lord." The room was filled with anxious whispers and worried glances as doubt and suspicion crept in among friends. Even Judas, the one who had already made his decision, looked Jesus in the eye and asked the same question. Jesus replied quietly, "You have said so," making the betrayal an unspoken truth between them. In that tense moment, the betrayal became an open secret, a silent understanding that hung heavily in the air between Jesus and Judas, while the others remained unaware of the true depth of what was unfolding. Judas stayed at the table, his mind racing, his plan already set in motion, the weight of his choice pressed down on him, even as he tried to hide his inner turmoil from the others. The Last Supper became a scene of love and sorrow, a bittersweet farewell between teacher and friends. It marked the beginning of the path to the cross, where sacrifice and forgiveness would change the world forever. It was the calm before the storm, a night where prophecy, pain, and betrayal were woven together, setting the stage for the events that would soon unfold and shape the course of history. The Gospels show Jesus predicting his death and resurrection, demonstrating divine foresight. He knew Judas would betray him. John writes, "Jesus had known from the beginning who would betray him." This knowledge wasn't last minute. It shaped Jesus' actions throughout his ministry. But did foreknowledge mean Judas had no choice? Most theologians say no. Knowing isn't the same as causing. Judas's decision was his own, even if Jesus foresaw it. Jesus didn't stop Judas. He allowed events to unfold, trusting a greater plan. His foresight was about courage and acceptance, not control. At the Last Supper, Jesus told Judas, "What you're about to do, do quickly." Was this a command or a sorrowful acknowledgement? The other disciples didn't understand. Some thought Judas was running an errand. Many scholars see Jesus' words as resignation, not instruction. He recognized Judas's choice. Jesus wasn't orchestrating evil, but accepting the painful reality. By saying, "Do quickly," he showed readiness to face his destiny. It was a moment of profound sadness, not manipulation. Jesus moved the plan forward by allowing free will, not by commanding betrayal. The story of Jesus and Judas is a timeless lesson on betrayal, forgiveness, and purpose. It's a narrative that has echoed through centuries, shaping the way people understand trust, loyalty, and the consequences of our choices. Even today, this story resonates deeply, reminding us that the struggles and dilemmas faced by people in ancient times are not so different from our own. When Jesus was betrayed, he responded not with anger or revenge, but with acceptance and a focus on a higher calling. His response offers a powerful model for us all, showing that even in the face of deep hurt, we can choose to rise above and remain true to our values. This example encourages us to look beyond immediate pain and seek a greater purpose in our lives. Judas's act of betrayal set in motion the events that led to the crucifixion, a moment central to Christian belief in redemption and the possibility of new beginnings. Through this, we see that even the darkest moments can be transformed into opportunities for growth and hope. This story shows that even through human failure, good can emerge. It reminds us that our mistakes do not have to define us, and that healing and transformation are always possible, no matter how far we may have fallen. We all face moments of weakness. In Jesus, we find grace and hope. His example reassures us that we are never alone in our struggles and that forgiveness is always within reach if we seek it with an open heart. The story challenges us. Will we follow the path of betrayal or the path of forgiveness? Each day we are given choices that shape who we become, and this ancient story invites us to reflect on the legacy we wish to leave behind. It's an invitation to reflect, seek grace, and walk the path of faith together, supporting one another as we strive to live with compassion, courage, and hope for a better tomorrow. If you truly are a son of Jesus Christ, you will subscribe, like, and comment. Amen.